Whether you believe in miracles or not, there is an enormous amount of documentation for seemingly inexplicable events. This is our list of 10 unexplained religious miracles.
Number 10.
Marian apparition in Zia Town, 1968 through 1970. The Virgin Mary is believed to have supernaturally appeared on numerous times all around the world. The famous case of Our Lady of Zia Town took place in Zia Town, Cairo, and contrary to the norm, the apparition was witnessed by millions of people over a period of 2 to 3 years. The apparition was even caught on film.
Number 9.
Incorruptible corpses. Incorruptibility is a name given to the situation in which a dead person does not decay after death. Incorruptible saints remain completely flexible, as if they were only sleeping. Incorruptible bodies are often said to have an odor of sanctity, exuding a sweet aroma. Over the years, there has been hundreds of saints whose bodies lie in a public view in churches and shrines. Their bodies are reputed to be remarkably well preserved.
Number 8.
Therese Newman's Stigmata, 1896 through 1962. One of the more gruesome and controversial miracles is stigmata, when a person explicably is affected with Jesus' crucifixion wounds, usually on the palms of the hands and feet. The phenomenon dates back to as early as 1186 and has been claimed by numerous saints since. March 5th, 1926, the first Friday of Lent, a wound appeared slightly above Teresa Newman's heart. For several consecutive Fridays after that, she stated she was experiencing the Passion of Christ, supposedly suffering in her own body along with all his historic agonies. She displayed 9 wounds on her head as well as wounds on her back and shoulders. According to several sources, these wounds never healed or became infected and were found on her body at death.
Number 7.
Statue in Akita Weeping Blood Icons, 1973 through 1975. Statues, paintings, and likenesses of Jesus, Mary, and the saints that appear to weep or even bleed are routinely reported around the world. In 1973, Sister Agnes in Akita, Japan had visions of the Virgin Mary. A cross-shaped wound appeared on the outside of her left hand. It bled profusely and caused her much pain. On July 6, Sister Agnes heard a voice while praying in the chapel, and later that same day, a few of the sisters noticed drops of blood flowing from the Blessed Virgin Mary statue's right hand. The wound in the statue's hand remained until September 29th. The statue then began to sweat. 2 years later, on January 4th, 1975, the statue of the Blessed Virgin began to weep. Scientific analysis of blood and tears from the statue provided by Professor Sagasaka confirmed that the blood, tears, and perspiration are real human tears, sweat, and blood. They come from 3 blood groups, O, B, and AB.
Number 6.
Our Lady of Lourdes, 1858. The apparitions of Our Lady of Lourdes began February 11th, 1858. When Bernadette Suberis, a 14-year-old peasant girl from Lourdes, admitted while walking with her sister and a friend that she had seen a lady in the cave of Mazabel. Similar appearances of the lady took place on 17 further occasions that year. During one of the apparitions, Bernadette was directed by the lady to dig near a rock and drink from the spring there. This is the source of the water in the grotto to which millions of people flock for miraculous cures every year. The Lourdes Medical Bureau has declared 68 cases of inexplicable cures.
Number 5.
Joseph of Cupertino, 1603 through 1663. Joseph of Cupertino was a remarkably unclever Italian saint, prone to miraculous levitation and intense ecstatic visions. On October 4th, 1630, the town of Cupertino held a procession on the feast day of St. Francis of Assisi. Joseph was assisting in the procession when he suddenly soared into the sky, where he remained hovering over the crowd. This was the first of many flights, which soon earned him the nickname the Flying Saint.
Number 4.
Tilma of Juan Diego, 1474 through 1548. The night of the apparition, Juan Diego's uncle became seriously ill. The next morning, December 12th, Juan Diego decided, instead of meeting the lady, to find a priest to administer the last rites to his dying uncle. When he tried to skirt around Tepeyac Hill, the lady intercepted him, assured him his uncle would not die, and asked him to climb the hill and gather flowers. It was December. Nothing blooms in the cold. There he found roses. The lady rearranged the roses carefully inside the folded tilma that Juan Diego wore, and told him not to open it before anyone but the bishop. When Juan Diego unfolded his tilma before the bishop, roses cascaded from his tilma, and an icon of Our Lady of Guadalupe was miraculously impressed on the cloth, bringing Bishop Zumarraga to his knees. The bishop acknowledged the miracle and within 2 weeks ordered a shrine to be built where the Virgin Mary had appeared. The original is on display in Guadalupe today and is one of the most frequently visited pilgrimage sites in the world.
Number 3.
Padre Pio, 1887 through 1968. Francisco Forgione, canonized as Saint Pio of Pietrelcina, was an Italian Roman Catholic Capuchin priest. He became famous for his stigmata. Those close to him attest that he began to manifest several spiritual gifts, including the gift of healing, levitation, prophecy, miracles, extraordinary abstinence from both sleep and nourishment, the ability to read hearts, the gift of tongues, the gift of conversions, and the fragrance from his wounds. You can see his hands concealed by fingerless gloves to hide his stigmata. St. Pio's grave and coffin were opened on March 3, 2008, revealing that his body is incorrupt. His body is now on display in San Giovanni Rotondo.
Number 2.
The Miracle of Lanciano, 700 AD. Around 700 AD, in Lanciano, Italy, a Basilian monk and priest were assigned to celebrate a Eucharist sacrifice. During the Mass, when he said the words of consecration, he saw the bread change into live flesh and the wine change into live blood, which coagulated into 5 globules, irregular and differing in shape and size. Various investigations have been conducted upon the miracle, and the evidence of the miracle remains in Lanciano to this day.
Number 1.
The Miracle of the Sun. The Miracle of the Sun is an alleged miraculous event witnessed by as many as 100,000 people on October 13, 1917, near Fatima, Portugal. According to many witness statements, after a downfall of rain, the dark clouds broke and the sun appeared to cast multicolored lights across the landscape. The sun was then reported to have careened towards the earth in a zigzag pattern, frightening some of those who thought it meant the end of the world. Some witnesses reported that their previously wet clothes became suddenly and completely dry. The miracle was attributed by believers to Our Lady of Fatima, an apparition of the Blessed Virgin Mary to 3 shepherd children in 1917. And that concludes our list of 10 unexplained religious miracles. Anything we might have missed? Please share it in the comments section below. And like always, make sure to like, share, and subscribe.